Alright guys, so now I'm going to teach you my favorite flow groove. And it has to do with the singles we were talking about earlier, with a little paradiddle diddle in there too. Let me slow that down for you guys. Now that groove is pretty much the basis of a lot of the grooves you guys might see me play. And when you speed it up really fast, it sounds like a crazy computerized typewriter drum solo, which I love. But yeah, that's it. Okay, so we have that main groove. Now, what if we wanted to construct a solo based off of that? How we kind of keep the meat and potatoes of that groove, but just build a story. Let me try it. That's crazy. Give me 1 second. I figured something out. So I'm replacing some of the snare hits with the kick drum in that pattern. So instead of I was doing, and that's also the upbeats we talked about earlier as well. But I want to figure out this pattern just for my own sake. That is crazy. I just figured that out right now. That's amazing. I'm going to use it in like 20 videos now. Thank you guys for helping me figure that out. So, what I just did, I used a bunch of kind of creative tools and tricks of the trade that I've learned. So I had the basic pattern, but what I'll do is I'll think of it kind of like a turntable, how a DJ has a drum beat. Let's say they have my drum beat on a little vinyl disc and they're playing it. This is the normal way. And let's say somehow in the future they could just control the bass drum. And I'll take a section of the bass drum and just mess with it and shift it. So that's basically going, letting it go. Doom, 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 doom. That's what I'm thinking of, like a turntable, a DJ shifting, just kind of messing with the groove a little bit. And I use that a lot in that solo. So. What that is, I'm basically doing the buzz roll thing I told you guys about earlier. And that's just kind of how I feel in the moment. I'll always add weird things like that, buzz rolls, to kind of help embellish those kick drum kicks. So orchestration, once again, doesn't always mean playing it on a different drum. It can mean taking something out. So I had the piece. What if I said, what if I take the kick drum out, orchestrate it differently that way? So. Also, I don't know if you guys peeped that, but there was tension and release in that too. When the kick drum came in, it was like, oh, and then you take it out, snare and hi-hat. It's kind of like, okay, we're settled now. And then the kick drum comes in, it's like, whoa, again. So tension and release, I'm telling you, it's the key to a lot of this. Another tool I use, which I got, I must admit, from Chris Dave, the great Chris Dave, is once you establish that theme or that motif, going totally left field, playing something crazy that doesn't relate, but then in the end you make it relate because you go back to the original groove. And Chris Dave does that a lot in his group and with Robert Glasper and whoever he plays with. So I'll try to demonstrate that with the groove. Something like that. It was hectic, but it works.
The lesson you just saw is one of 5 lessons alongside 3 drum solos that make up the Jharis Yokley Course on jpbouvetmethod.com. It's a guest course where Jharis helps us get in his head conceptually, technically, musically, to help us think about getting more creative juice out of the vocabulary that we already have and playing more impactful drum solos. Jharis is one of the best, most adventurous, most unique drum soloists in our generation, and the advice that he shares in these lessons and that he demonstrates with his solos and his playing clips throughout the course is invaluable. You can use the code Jharis anytime before midnight on February 3rd, and you'll get a free 30 days of access not only to his course, but to everything on the website. All right, see you there.